Hey guys, good morning. Happy Sunday. Welcome to another episode of Clangin and Bangin with Mikey. Episode 20. Yo, it's crazy. 20 episodes in. Doing this every week. Today, man, we're gonna talk about energy, vibes, and growing up, I was very fortunate to have two educations. One from the street and one from the schools. And you're probably thinking, bro, you grew up in Hawaii. It's not as hood as you think it is. That's what people think. And for the most part, they right. I mean, it's like it's Hawaii's not as dangerous as the mainland is in certain parts of the mainland where I lived at. Where you go into the wrong spot with the wrong colors on, and you ain't making it out. And and shout out to my boy Smitty with a T-shirt, bro. This is actually a medium. I've never thought in my life I would fit a medium, but hey, it is what it is, and it looks good too. So there's that. But yeah, man, last night got together with some friends at the house. We had a barbecue, bro. It was cool. It was great to see people, and who I haven't seen since the pandemic started because of all the all the protocols, COVID protocols, and all that stuff like that, right? So it was cool. It was great. And I had a couple people pop in just to say, "Hey, man," because they was what we call terminology I use is called pop and smoke. Pop and smoke is a military term. It basically means that you're leaving. And so whenever I say that, it means that they leaving the island, for greener pastures or just a new start or whatever it is. And a lot of guys that I know is either guys that I work with or I worked with or guys from bodybuilding shows. My circle is extremely small for a reason. And yeah, man, it's like just to get together with people and talk sports, politics, bodybuilding, just stuff like that. And to not have a food restriction. I mean, it's like I look good now. I take my shirt off. It's like, eesh. We're a little soft, even though my coach tells me that I'm fucking ridiculous because he's like, dude, you're solid as fuck. Just go chill out. And yeah, man. This whole week I've been reverse dieting for the most part. Still sticking to the diet as far as the as far as the meal plan goes and everything. I've just increased calories as I've been in the surplus. About taking in probably close to between 25 to 3,000 calories a day, and I'm making sure that I'm burning off. Friday was the first day back in the gym, and I think I went too hard, because Friday night I was doing laundry and all my shit locked up. I'm like, lats locked up, biceps locked up, triceps locked up, even my obliques locked up for like 20 minutes. And so yeah, there's that, man. But getting back to the main point. Like I said before, in the streets we call it vibes, in science we call it energy. All I'm saying is trust it. And it took me a long time, teenage years, 20s, whatever, to not realize that you don't have to force anything, man. If you gotta force, whether it's communication, whether it's through text messaging, social media, or just verbally, if you gotta force all that shit, fuck it. It's not, it's not meant for you. It's something that's not, for lack of better words, it's a waste of your fucking time. And I think the faster you recognize that, the better off you'll be. The better off you'll be because you realize who's worth your time and who's not. And I've never been one to play anybody for an option. I've never been one to play myself for an option. So there's that. So why the fuck would I play somebody else for an option when I'm not going to do the same thing to me, right? And I think it's extremely important to be honest, to be upfront, to communicate how you feel. And even if it's difficult for you to do that, you much rather do that than wonder, okay, what if? You much rather get the elephant out the room. Because in a way, man, it's like, whether you're interested in somebody or not, the only way you're going to find out is what? If you open up your mouth and you talk about it. If you have a conversation about it. And granted, there's people out there who have baggage, because we all have baggage. If a motherfucker tells you she does not have baggage, whether it's physical, emotional, psychological, whatever it is, these motherfuckers are lying. And I think it's extremely important to be patient. Be patient with people, because you want the same energy back. Again, word energy. You want the same vibe back. Again, goes back to what I was saying earlier. You would want the same energy or vibe reciprocated. You wouldn't want somebody who's always taking from you, draining you, and they ain't giving nothing back. And a lot of people, man, they get caught up in looks and all this shit. And I'm like, don't get me wrong. An attractive person is attractive, But if they have nothing to offer you mentally, or if they can't stimulate you mentally, then what are you doing? Like, it's like, I used to tell one of my partners, it's like, bro, sex is cool, but that's, what, 20, 30 minutes, if that. Like, there's got to be something else besides just the physical that's going to tie you in. And a lot of people don't know how to do that. I think I've seen so many people jump from relationship to relationship to the point is like, they don't even know themselves. They don't know what they want. They don't know what they want in another person. They don't know what to expect. They don't know how to go about it. They just don't know. And it's extremely weird to me, the fact that a lot of people don't want to sit there and be like, yo, okay, like, this is what we doing, but like, why? Like, they don't question how they move. And when I say they, I mean themselves. And my thing is like, okay, that's weird that you're doing that, because you know what you're doing. Because at a certain age, we all know what the fuck we're doing. And them vibes, that energy, man, it never lies, bro. It was like you can get that shit through a text message, or or a phone call, whatever. Like, because if you blowing people up, or if you calling people and motherfuckers ain't calling you back, and it's taking them days, weeks, whatever to do that, bro, it's like, why sit there and be an option? We too good to be second stringers, bro. And I mean that in the most respectful way, but I ain't never playing myself a second string, bro. In my eyes, I'm a Hall of Famer. In my eyes, it's like, how I carry myself is like, yo, this is what we doing. This is how we gonna get it done. This is what I bring to the table. This is what I expect. And if you can't get with it, cool. Peace. Deuces. I'm not gonna sit here and waste our time and waiting for you to change, when change is not external, it's internal. And we've all been to that point where we can make excuses for people. We can make excuses for how they behave, or what they do and don't do. And at the end of the day, man, whether it's communication or not, it's like, we live in a day and age, bro, where only time we not glued to our phones, or most of us, is when we sleep. Is when we're asleep. And pay attention to the details, man, because they matter. Uh, they matter because they tell you more about an individual. They tell you more about an individual than you realize. It's like I was telling my girl. It's like there's a reason why I am the way I am. There's a reason why my circle is the way it is. Because if I'm gonna let you in, that means I've been watching for a minute. I've been watching how you move, how you talk, how you conduct yourself, how you do all that shit. You know, and I sit down, I take mental notes. I'm the type of dude, like, bro, I can get text messages from people, guys and girls, you know, and they be blowing me up for some dumb shit. And I'm like, bro, I ain't the one. Or like, if I got people blowing me up and they're not reciprocating the same energy when I need them, you know what I do? Highlight their name on the phone, go down to, delete contact, and we keep it pushing. I'm the type of dude, I can be friendly with you and never talk to you again. And by that, it's like whenever I see you, I'll give you the head nod. Or I'll do that. Or we can, but we'll never have a conversation ever again. Because for me, that energy, that vibe, once it gets established, that's who you are. And that says more about you as an individual than anything else. So, yeah, man, I think it's extremely important to recognize the vibes, the energy. Because like I said, in the streets, we call it vibes. In science, we call it energy. All I'm saying is trust it. Because that's your gut intuition telling you to stop and think. And I think over the last year, pandemic and everything evolved. We all had to take the time to sit down with our thoughts and feelings and emotions, and to figure out, okay, like, is this what is this what we gonna continue to do? Is this something that we want to do? And if those two answers are no, then you know what you got to do. You know what you got to do to switch it up to get better. And it's a painful thing to sit there with your emotions because you can't run from them. You can't put that shit in the back burner and come back to it 6 months later, because you have to deal with that shit mentally, physically, psychologically. I know people who were afraid to tell me that they went, that they're going off and seeing a therapist. I'm like, well, why not? It's like, bro, that's what I do for a living. My background is mental health, straight up. And my thing is like, I think it's extremely important to get this shit in here, in your head, in your mind, fixed. Because nothing else will get fixed if this isn't right. You can sit there and you can make yourself busy, 10, 12, 16 hours a day. But you still gonna have them periods where you dealing with your shit mentally. And it's like, it's draining to sit there and pretend everything's good when it's not. I've done it. Like everybody that we all know somebody who's done it. And like I said before, if a motherfucker tells you that they never dealt with baggage, whether it's emotional, physical, psychological, they fucking lying. And we have to stop with the stigma of mental health, man. It's like, bro, that's what we there for. People like me, the job I do, that's what we're there for. We're there to help you through your shit. We're there to help you through whatever problems you got mentally. Because I got this one quote that I posted a while back, and I said that physical part of being healthy don't mean a damn thing if that mental, if that mental doesn't get checked. I'm gonna say it again. That physical part of being healthy doesn't mean a damn thing if that mental doesn't get checked. And I think so many people are just so afraid to go into an office or even to their friends or the girlfriends or boyfriends, whatever. And it's like they're so afraid to talk about their shit. And because I think they fear judgment more than anything else. And yo, stop judging people, bro. Because you don't know what people going through. And my end is always gratitude, always. Even if I don't fucking like you, I'm gonna still show you gratitude. I'm gonna still be cordial with you. You know what I mean? Is that but at the same time, dog, nigga, I ain't the one that gonna be like, yo, how you doing? Dap it up. I'm like, nah. But at the same time, man, I'm still gonna be the same dude. Cause I have no idea what people are going through. You know, what battles they facing. And it'd be really fucking hypocritical for me to sit there and cast judgment on a motherfucker and I don't know their own story. You know, I think a lot of people, they're so quick to do that because you can hide behind the screen, whether it's social media or text messaging or whatever, or you can say whatever the fuck you want to say, and there's no repercussions for that. I mean, and by repercussions, I mean getting socked in the mouth. And I think people got to stop thinking about that, man, because how would you feel if that was you in your shoes and people are telling you, oh, just to get over it, you know, like move on from it, yada, yada, yada. You don't know how trauma affects them, man. You don't know how, we could stick 10 people in the same situation, dog, and you gonna get 10 different, problems from that same situation. Because we all go through some traumatic shit. We all do. But at the same time, you have to figure out how you gonna deal with it. Because my pops used to always say, he's like, yo, he's like, you can either crumble with your problems or you can rise above it. And he's like, how you rise above it says more about you as an individual to yourself than to anybody else. And what I took from that is basically, is like, as long as you believe in yourself, bro, you can do anything, man. It's like, and I think we have to stop, or we have to think, because if 2020 taught us one thing, man, we all going through the same shit. It's the same game, different levels, same devils, man. All right, y'all. Y'all have a beautiful Sunday. Hope it's dry and sunny where y'all at. Y'all keep it to 4 P's. Positive, private, play, and pushing. Goes.